welcome to the very first episode of the Cookery Book Program. Over the next 10 minutes, Wayne, our chef, will be cooking and demonstrating a step-by-step guide of how to prepare some simple but rather delicious recipes, all from this wonderful little book, the Surrey Street Cookbook. On today's program, Catherine Rees joins us, but first, let's meet our chef, and his name is Wayne Child, or Chef Child if you dare. Wayne, thank you so much for being here with us today and showing us your skills.
That's a pleasure, Agatha. I really appreciate you inviting me along, and anything that promotes Surrey Street Market, I'm more than happy to be involved in. It's a great place to go and a great place to look around and see.
Absolutely. So what are you going to do for us today?
Well, today we're going to look at, we're going to do a cashew nut curry, which is one of the recipes from the Surrey Street Cookbook.
By Catherine Rees, yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll start off with just chopping our onion, so into half. Just take the core out of the sides, like so.
And why do you have to take the core out?
Because when you come to slice it now, it will come apart nicely, whereas if you leave the core in, it will all stick to the core. So just a nice gentle motion with the knife, slice the onion down, like so. So put a little bit of oil into our pan, a little bit of olive oil we've got here. Okay. So we're going into the pan with our onions, our sliced onion, like so. Then we're going to take our celery, take the bottom off of the celery. This has been washed, by the way, so I have washed the celery. So okay, so just take the ends off. We're going to take a few sticks and just run a peeler down the celery, just to take that stringiness away.
So what happens when the stringiness is left on the celery?
You get that string in your mouth when you're eating it, you know, and you won't get it with nice young celery, nice, you know. But if it's a little bit older, it is always best to run a peeler down it, to be honest, like so. Okay, we'll put that aside. You can always keep these end bits, by the way, just as a garnish if you want to. So when you finish your dish off, you might want to just garnish your curry with that. Now when we chop our celery, just rather than it being straight down, we just chop it at an angle, and we want to keep it quite thin. Don't want great big chunks. Celery, great flavour for the base of any kind of dish, really, to be honest. Okay, so there's our celery into the pan. Then we're going to take our garlic onto the board. Just a couple of cloves will do. Again, we just want to cut that up nice and fine.
Now, you know what I love garlic, but what I hate about garlic is that smell.
Sure.
Yeah.
You'll find with garlic in its raw state, it's quite pungent and quite powerful. That's why whenever you do a salad, you should only really wipe the bowl with garlic. But you'll find when it's cooked, it actually loses a lot of that pungency, and it is actually quite nice and smooth. Okay. So we're just going to paste that up a little bit, like so.
Yeah.
Because again, we don't want big chunks of garlic in it.
Okay.
Okay, into our pan. So, in there we've got our olive oil. Okay, our onions, celery and garlic. And what we're going to do now, we're just going to cook them off until we get a bit of colour on them. And then we're going to add in some of our spices and our cashew nuts. We're using a combination here. We've got cumin, and we've got some chili powder. We've also got some poppy seeds.
Ooh, poppy seeds.
And some coriander seeds.
Okay.
And also some desiccated coconuts. Okay, and again we're going to put our tomatoes in there. And we may well add some chickpea into it. It's just an addition to the recipe. It's not something we have to do, but it's just a little idea at the end. And I've also got a little bit of do a bit of a cooked pumpkin and cooked butternut squash here. So again, we may add that in at the end of the curry if we feel we need to or we want to. So.
Okay. Catherine, is that how you normally prepare the dish?
Yes, it's you know, Wayne is doing it absolutely how I would do it. Yes.
Okay. While that's cooking now, I'm just going to quarter up our tomatoes. Again, I've washed them off earlier on. Nice sweet tomatoes on the vine. Okay, here we go. So we're just going to cut these up. Okay, so we've got some browning going on there in the pan. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put a little bit of chili powder. A little bit of chili powder into there. Just a half a teaspoon. You don't want to go too mad. Okay. A little bit of cumin. A little bit more of cumin. Some poppy seeds, some coriander seeds. Okay, and that, we'll just do that there for a minute. We're just going to give that a little turn round. You'll probably smell the aroma coming off of that.
It smells wonderful, delicious actually.
Now we're going to put in our tomatoes. So again, you can leave the skins on the tomatoes, or you can take the skins off. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
And what's the difference between using fresh tomato and tin tomatoes?
Well, it's a lot easier to use tin, but I just prefer to use fresh.
So it doesn't affect the taste whether it's fresh or tin?
No, not at all. I think you get a better flavour with fresh tomatoes. But again, I will say, like I said earlier on, it's key that you use a nice ripe tomato. Now what we're going to do is just add some coconut into that, a good bit of coconut. Just turn that in, like so. Some cashew nuts. These are unsalted, so when we finish the dish we need to check the seasoning, make sure it's got enough salt in the dish. So cashew nuts into there. There's about half a litre of vegetable stock. So straight on top, that's about it. And then what we're going to do now, we're going to leave this on the stove and let it simmer, let the flavours infuse for about 20 minutes.
It smells absolutely gorgeous.
It does. So we've got some nice basmati rice there. Agatha, do you want to come in and have a sample of the delights?
Oh, thank you. Wayne.
There we are, enjoy it.
This looks absolutely gorgeous. I don't know. Sadly, we've come to the end of today's programme, but do join Wayne and I again for another edition of Surrey Street Cookbook. See you soon.